What a beautiful day in LA. A great day, in fact, for beach volleyball. More Pac-12 beach volleyball. USC facing the Cal Golden Bears in the second duel of the day for USC. Hi, everybody. We're glad you could join us. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson alongside three-time Olympian Holly McPeak. Holly, USC took the duel of the day, the first duel against Long Beach State, commandingly. What was the key to their success?
Well, I just thought chemistry. They were much stronger working together. They looked much more smooth. You see the wind. There's a blowing umbrella. Kind of dealt with the swirling wind here better than Long Beach State. But on two of the courts, there were some good battles out there from Long Beach State.
Yeah, at the two pairs, Long Beach State took a win over Alexa Strange and Sophie Bukovic. Meanwhile, moving ahead, they're going to play Cal right now. What should we look for in this matchup?
Well, the interesting thing, I don't think Cal has been challenged by a team like USC. They've played some ranked teams, and their only losses are 3-2, so they feel like they've been in the matches. But again, I don't think Cal has seen a team like USC yet, so it should be interesting. They might be able to push them on one or two courts, but I expect USC, the way they're playing, to control this match.
Meanwhile, we're going to start, as always, with the 4 and 5 pairs. Then we'll go the 1, 2, and 3 in the second flight of games. But Kelly Clays and Sarah Hughes, the reigning Pac-12 pair of the week, looked like superior players in this matchup.
Well, they certainly did. They controlled, I believe it was 21-6, 21-4. They are playing at a high level and controlling the level on their court. That means that they're very mature and disciplined, taking care of business, not worrying what's happening on the other side of the net.
You mentioned the swirly wind. You were one of the best beach players in the wind ever. What are the keys to playing in this kind of temperature wind?
I'm feeling the wind pick up as we speak, but controlling the pass. Easy pass set. Don't get too complicated, but you need to pass forward. Easy up and down set. Get your feet to the ball so you can do something offensively with the ball, and don't be early or the ball's going to move on you.
We're going to start with the 4 and 5s going on. We're going to start our action on court number 1 as Rachel Wilson and Taya Neff of Cal will face Jenna Belton and Abril Bustamante. And one of the things that I think really impressed you and I in that first matchup was the play of Belton and Bustamante.
Jenna Belton and Abril Bustamante, I saw them 2 weeks ago against Florida State, and they were not gelling like they should or could, and they looked much stronger working as a team together, more aggressive serving and a better side-out rhythm as a team.
Bustamante receives the first ball and goes back to the line.
I think Abril Bustamante is happy about that. She didn't see any serves the first match, or maybe just a couple. But it's fun when you get served, you have more control over the match.
Down the line, Bustamante now setting, familiar role, and the attempt to turn it down the line too sharp for Belton.
Jenna Belton needs to stay behind that ball. It blew a little bit inside and off, and that's one of the tricks of in the wind, seeing the set and staying behind it.
Neff serves Bustamante again. And going down the line. It'll be interesting to see if Bustamante continues to receive more serves.
Well, it's a new strategy. Whatever was happening early against Jenna Belton didn't work, so why not try Bustamante?
And it's one of the things we touched upon in the first matchup today, that Anna Collier has a vision for Bustamante long-term. She's a freshman, of being a primary defender.
And that's a big transition. Abril Bustamante's always been a split player where she part-time plays defense, part-time block, and now she's forced to learn just to play defense, and that means you have to really focus on your defense, digging the ball and putting it away.
Speaking of putting it away, 5'5", Rachel Wilson, a freshman, has a sharp cutty, catches everybody off their guard. Way inside, defended by Neff. All of a sudden, it gets a little ricochet. Slowed down. Beautiful set by Bustamante and a kill down the line.
Good USC point right there. Just staying in the rally, shooting it deep to end. Abril Bustamante has been going on some nice scoring runs with her serve.
And it's a jump serve. Anna Collier wants her in the air. and said that last week in Hawaii when she had trouble, she wanted her to keep jumping, keep serving to get the confidence. Door closed for the cutting.
Cal's doing a good job digging some balls, but just unable to transition them for points so far. USC 5-2 on the side switch. Ball is set tight. The cut does not clear the net.
It's one thing to check the sand for the win, but you can also watch Bustamante's ponytail flying around in swirls. Bustamante is laid out. Belton couldn't get to it.
Well, Abril Bustamante did a great job getting to the ball, but she popped it up right on top of her head, and Jenna Belton could not do anything about it. A couple weeks ago when they played versus Florida State, that same play happened, and Jenna Belton accidentally kneed her partner in the head, Abril Bustamante, who ended up with a minor concussion.
Yikes. Not a way to have that partnership gel. Meanwhile, Neff serves it long. Holly, when we look at Neff and Wilson, it's a traditional kind of little player in Wilson at 5'5". Neff clearly going to play at the net. What are the advantages and disadvantages of having a big and a little?
Well, I think the advantage is you have one player dialed in to the defense, playing in the backcourt, you know, trying to figure out a strategy against the other team, the offense, and then one player at the net getting used to seeing the hitter and figuring out a way to stop them.
Neff, little one. And now it's a little back, but closed down by Neff.
Taya Neff's got long arms, and she swats that ball down. Oh, net violation, I guess, on the swat. That time Jenna Belton digs a short one. Oh, you see the net contact there.
Bustamante puts heat. Trying to go down the line. It's chased well. Wilson digs it, has a big blocker in front of her, takes a nice swing, but it's long. And Megan Schwitz, Cal Bears, trailing.
First season as the California head coach, Megan Schmitz spent some time indoors with the Cal team, the only player to play in 2 Final Fours for Cal, and that's the indoor. And then she came down to Loyola Marymount, spent some time on the coaching staff, and that's where she learned the beach game under Tom Black, the head indoor coach. Here she's found passion for the game. She's really enjoying it, and also she herself learned how to play and compete at a very high level.
The Cal Bears having some success this year as they build their program. They had a couple of ranked wins over USF, then 13th, and Pacific, the 18th ranked team. Back-to-back ranked wins for the Cal Bears.
That time Jenna Belton poking that tight ball deep. The wind definitely affecting the sets, blowing them tight.
USC has been at the pinnacle of this game since inception. Cal has been getting better each year. They've already tied their number of wins from last season, and it feels like this season has just started.
Well, Cal now getting some beach-only athletes on their roster, and that really elevates the level, according to Coach Megan Schmidt. She said, we brought in 3 or 4 freshmen who, actually, I believe it's 5, who had some beach experience, and that just elevates the whole level of our practice and makes us better.
Belton down the line. Bustamante with a blocker in front of her just unloads. Ball, well, stops short of Figueroa.
Yeah, Abril Bustamante wanted to put an exclamation point on that one. Nice dig, aggressive swing from USC.
USC leading on all courts right now. This is the first flight of games. 4 and 5 pairs going at it. Bustamante just puts it where they're not.
Good execution. Jenna Belton got the easy free ball dig, puts it up for her partner onto. Abril Bustamante finds the open court. Cal calling a timeout. I think it's a good idea. Anytime a team can get 7 points ahead of you, you want to slow things down and regroup.
We took a look at Cal's record by year. Already Cal has tied the number of wins that they had last year in their program. For USC, well, last year they were national champions, went undefeated 28-0 to win that title.
And that's a lot of pressure to go into that big playoff undefeated. But I'll tell you, they got pushed along the way. Loyola Marymount pushed them, Long Beach State, Hawaii.
And you look at the growth of this sport. 2012, they were 3-1 because that's all the matches they played. Anna Collier, the head coach of this team in her 5th season, really been at the forefront along with Nina Matthews of Pepperdine and pushing for this NCAA championship.
Absolutely, and that's another team that really pushed USC last year. Pepperdine was, neck and neck with USC the entire time, but USC coming out on top in 2015.
USC's four pair of Jenna Belton and April Bustamante controlling this first set entirely. What from Neff and Wilton, what Wilson adjustments can they make?
Just a little bit better execution offensively. There have been some offensive hitting errors, setting too tight to the net. That's really been the difference. But USC doing a better job putting service pressure on the Cal team than the other way around.
Wilson serves Belton. Nice tough serve and an ace.
That was a beautiful aggressive jump float serve from Rachel Wilson and Cal.
Hard driven ball by Jenna Belton.
What a set by Abril Bustamante. Just lifts it perfectly inside for Jenna Belton in the cross-court kill.
A 14-7 lead, and the wind is crushing it today at Merle Norman.
Your kids right now.
Today at 4, only on Pac-12 Network.
Welcome back to Merle Norman Stadium in Los Angeles. USC hosting Cal in the second duel of the day for the Trojans. Right now, action happening on 2 courts as the 4 pairs and the 5 pairs in action. The 5s on court number 2, Kremer and Nightingale with a commanding lead of 18-3. Meanwhile, on court 1, the 4 pair Belton and Bustamante continuing to roll. A cutty from Belton.
Abril Bustamante doing a good job putting that ball right in front of Jenna Belton's left shoulder, and she can go line, cut shot, that time going sharp cut.
On the other court, Zoe Nightingale has had 4 blocks in this one set. You remember her with a commanding presence in the 2011 Indoor National Championship for UCLA. Chased down on court number 1. And on 2, and it tags the line from Belton.
Jenna Belton doing a fantastic job. She's serving a ball that keeps coming towards the middle, away from the right side player. It's a weird angle from a lefty, but USC doing a good job.
On the left side of your screen, it's set point number 2 for Kremer and Nightingale, 20-4. And chased down on the left side of your court. Cal points on both courts. Well, Belton and Bustamante with an 18-8 lead. So USC controlling both courts.
Kremer, Nightingale, all they need to do right now is side out. Kremer gets ace. That ball just drops from Emily Schultz.
Pounding on the right side of your court as Jenna Belton sets Bustamante just perfectly. On the left side, Nightingale and Kremer take set number 1 over Schultz and Regalia. First blood drawn by USC. So we return you to action on court 1 in this first set of the day, and Rachel Wilson with a kill.
Rachel Wilson able to get that ball down. She's got some beach experience. She transferred from Arizona last year. Small, but she's got good shots. We saw her with a beautiful jump float serve ace earlier down the middle.
Bustamante sets. And just turned, but long, as she tries to go over Neff.
Good point for Cal. Starts with a pretty good serve. Good block and defense. Jenna Belton, that sets a little bit inside and off. Jenna Belton hits it long, as does Abril Bustamante. It looks like the wind is at USC's back right now, which makes it a little bit more challenging to put the ball away.
Dug by Wilson, behind. Goes down the line. Wilson showing skill in every arena.
Beautiful deep pokey. Right now, USC needs to execute and get a side out from this side.
Wilson's serve in the net will make it. Set point for Belton and Bustamante. Bustamante back to serve, has been jump serving this season per Anna Collier's instruction. Goes into the net.
But it's important to set the tone, come out serving really aggressive, and then you get more and more comfortable, and that's something Abril Bustamante is getting used to, an aggressive jump serve.
Bustamante sets, and it's put away by Belton as USC's 4 pairs take the first set. And so both the 4 and 5 pairs for USC pick up the first set win, set 2 action when we return.
How many gasolines clean better than Chevron with Techron?
Lead number store.
USC hosting beach volleyball today on Pac-12 Network. This is the second duel of the day for the Trojans. Earlier today, the Trojans took down Long Beach State here in Merle Norman Stadium. Now they are facing Cal, the first flight of matches today. Second set for each of these teams. This is the 4 and 5 pairs. Set 1 picked up by USC both ways. We're going to go to action on court number 2 right now, as the 5 pairs are battling it out. Kremer and Nightingale, 10 and 4 overall this season. They have won 9 out of their last 10 matches, and Nightingale just picked up her 5th block of this match.
Zoe Nightingale can really control a match at the net. She's a big presence, so you need to move her around and shoot high balls over her.
Nightingale, again, just closing the net. And that's what she did, Holly. I mean, a middle blocker in college for UCLA in the indoor, won a national championship her freshman year, and you and I both remember she came alive blocking in that national championship.
And that's her strength. It always has been. She's also, since learning the beach game, really done a good job with her transition setting.
And how difficult is that for a middle to learn how to transition set, especially coming from the indoor game like she has recently?
Well, it doesn't appear to look very difficult for her, but it really is.
With the serve.
Nightingale played 1 season of beach volleyball for UCLA before coming over to USC as a grad student this year.
Zoe Nightingale was able to kind of learn her first year of beach, or what they called sand at that point. So this is her second year, and she's really progressed as a player. Looks so much more mature, confident, making good decisions, when to stay and when to drop. And Jo Kremer, who's grown up in the sand, really complements Zoe Nightingale's game.
I tell you what, Nightingale has squeezed the most out of her college athletic career, has she not? I mean, this is technically her 6th season of collegiate sports. 4 indoor, 1 sand, as you said, it was called then at UCLA, and now a beach season at USC. Schultz sets Regalia. And it's just set high line.
You see Schultz and Regalia struggling a little bit with this wind. They're on the bad side, wind at their back, and it's a little swirly. They need to push their first contact a little bit more forward so they can not set each other from off the net. It makes it much more difficult to put the ball away.
Kremer gets a little help off the net. It's followed. Regalia decides to play it on, but it's wide.
Good attempt off a tough serve, but USC just staying in control and elevating the level, and that's something Coach Anna Collier talked about. We don't want to play down if a team is weaker than us. We want to control the level and make them compete with us.
All of Cal's losses have been 2-3. You mentioned that earlier, Holly. This Cal team can compete. This is only the first flight of action today versus USC. The 1, 2, and 3s coming up next. Well dug by Schultz. Both blockers off. Put their helmet on, try to dig Nightingale.
But Joe Crummer puts up a beautiful ball. It's steady in this kind of wind. That's how you score points. So right now, Cal's struggling to give each other a good set that they can cut, rainbow, attack middle, or put away with a hard swing.
Just a shortcut. I mean, again, Holly, you and I have talked about this is a team of two littles, if you will, and it's a little bit different. So how do you defend against Zoe Nightingale when nobody has that kind of length?
Well, you don't serve her. You serve the other player and move and drop. Unless you can get Zoe Nightingale to shank her pass a little bit, then you can drop off the net and have a better advantage defensively.
Schultz picks it up. And now Nightingale, 50-50 ball, goes to work.
Cal's doing a good job digging some balls, staying in the rally. It's what they're doing after they dig it to put it away. They're just facing a huge challenge because Joe Crummer's a good defensive player. They're trying to shoot over Zoe Nightingale, and Joe Crummer's just running it down easily.
Megan Schmidt has said her 1 through 4s have been set. Her 5 pairs, she's mixed around a little bit today. She says one of the things she likes about Schultz and Regalia, they're loud. She said, I'm being serious, they're very loud.
Well, they had an inter-squad scrimmage one day, and they were loud, obnoxious, fiery, energetic, and they ended up beating every squad for Cal. And that's how they earned their spot to compete.
Unforced error there, and USC deepens their lead in set number 2.
That was a pretty good set attempt. Open net. Zoe Nightingale was not there. The execution was not there. Katie Regalia missing that cut shot with open net.
And an ace serve by Zoe Nightingale.
Zoe Nightingale patrolling the net and now scoring points from the back line. I think when you face a physical team like USC who's big top to bottom and got beach experience, you have to come out so aggressive. You have to go up and swing around that aggressive block, not try and avoid her, and then go aggressive from the service line, take them out of their side-out game.
Zoe Nightingale, 8th block of the match. She's closing down the net.
Home of the U.S.
Great rates for great rides.
Beautiful day in LA for some beach volleyball inside Merle Norman Stadium. The Trojans and the Bears duking it out. This is the first flight of action between these two squads, the 4 and 5 pairs getting after it. Second set action. The first set was won by both the USC 4 and 5 pair. We're going to be on court number 2 for the 5s. Holly, what has impressed you so far?
Well, USC really controlling it. Zoe Nightingale's presence at the net has really been a factor, and Cal not doing enough to challenge her. You can't swing at her. You got to go up, angle your approach, and cut inside of her. Challenge Joe Crummer. Take Zoe Nightingale out of the equation.
I mean, Zoe Nightingale is like Voldemort at this point. They keep feeding her. She keeps getting more powerful every time. She's had 9 blocks in this match. I don't know if you've done Harry Potter yet. I think you have. Voldemort.
Oh, absolutely. I know the guy who starts with the V.
Nightingale setting. Crummer looks a little frustrated.
Well, good idea, but the execution wasn't there. Cal still playing into USC's hands. Even when Zoe Nightingale drops off the net, they hit right at the X, and you can't do that. You got to cut, hit away from them, make them move, create a point scoring opportunity.
Ball sent long as, again, we've talked about the wind here inside Merle Norman Stadium today. I'm not saying it did or didn't have a play in that point, but it has been a factor today. Just sent over. Nightingale handles the first ball. And an attempt to block, but Nightingale 6'3". Whew.
Size advantage at the net. Anytime you're within 3 to 4 feet of the net and the ball is above the tape, I don't like bumping over free balls. Get up, use your hand, try and do something that's deceptive to put it away. Like I said, if you're Cal, you have to be aggressive to beat this big, physical USC team.
And then once in a while, things just don't go your way. Joe Kremer serves that, hits the top of the tape, and just dribbles over. 10-point lead for USC in set number 2. Nightingale waiting for it. Gets a piece, follows it.
That's the reaction play I wanted to see from Zoe Nightingale earlier. Getting a nice block touch and then chasing it with her feet, putting up a great set for Joe Kremer. Cal is letting Zoe Nightingale control this match.
Taking the match there.
And just a broken play as Cal's chasing. It is match point USC.
One more time on court number 2.
On the side switch, they talk with their volunteer assistant coach, Dane Blanton, Olympic gold medalist.
Dane Blanton pushing the level. He doesn't want to settle. He knows they're in control, but he's like, every play, let's take care of it. Let's execute.
Match point for USC's Kremer and Nightingale. Sent long.
Now all USC needs to do is side out.
And now let's switch sides again.
And the action on court number 1, also USC in control. We'll take a look at that match after this as Belton passes. Or excuse me, I said Belton. Kremer is the one who puts it away. And USC with a 5th pair victory.
Kremer Nightingale are a solid team 5.
Kremer and Nightingale pick up the first point of the day for USC in this duel, and we join the action on court number 1. The 4 pairs, USC's Belton and Bustamante in control. They picked up set number 1, and now in set 2 have an 18-11 lead over Neff and Wilson. Blocker pulls off. One hand, and then Belton just down the line.
Well, Rachel Wilson for Cal, good dig, chance to put it away. Jenna Belton, retreating blocker, able to dig it and put it away for USC. She's got a lot of experience, year under her belt at the 5s with Bria Russ last year, and now with Abril Bustamante at 4s.
Yeah, and a totally different partner, it seems, in Bustamante than in Bria Russ. Bria Russ is a smaller partner, incredibly quick. Not that Bustamante isn't. Is it tough for Belton to have such different partners, or maybe are they more similar than they look?
Well, in terms of role that Jenna Belton's playing, she's playing the blocker. So her role has not changed, and I think Coach Anna Collier for USC likes those roles so she can plug in different players. If Zoe Nightingale was able to move up, she could play that role with Abril Bustamante, or that can happen. They're all interchangeable, and that's the thing about roles in this USC program. She likes to be able to plug in different players to those roles.
Match point for Belton and Bustamante before this side switch, and Anna Collier has told us that that's what's really changed in her recruiting, is that now she can go after the same way an NFL team will go look for a quarterback, or they will look for a running back or a linebacker. linemen. She says now I can be specific, whereas before I had to look for great players and then make it work.
Absolutely, and she's got some of the best talent with experience on her team right now. So her job is to create the chemistry between the teams, or the partners. The twinship is what she calls it, and then be able to continue to push their level and make them better. And the competition within the team is really important too.
Been a great day of action here on Pac-12 Network. More beach volleyball ahead. On a Friday, our team will travel to Arizona. Cal State Bakersfield and New Mexico will face 7th-ranked Arizona on Pac-12 Network. And then next Wednesday, top-ranked Pepperdine versus UCLA at 3 o'clock right here on Pac-12 Network. It remains match point on court number 1 as Belton and Bustamante are fighting off Wilson and Neff. Laid out. Belton sharp cutting in the net. It's up. But that'll do it as Belton and Bustamante pick up another point for USC. The Trojans lead 2-0 in this duel.
Good focus by Belton and Bustamante. Take care of business on court 1.
Speaking of business, USC coach Dane Blanton will join us after the break to talk about his Trojans and more. USC with a 2-0 lead in the second duel of the day, leading the Cal Golden Bears. The 1, 2, and 3 pairs getting ready for action, and while they're getting ready, we've got a lot of fun ourselves. Anne-Marie Anderson, alongside a couple of Olympians, Olympic gold medalist Dane Blanton, joining us now in the booth. Dane, let's first talk about the fact that this USC program is coming off big wins in Hawaii. How good can this program be this season?
Well, you know, our expectation was to go back and win another national championship. We have just an amazing group of girls, a real strong, cohesive unit, and we've suffered a couple losses. I know you guys have seen the stats. They were by a couple points, so it could have gone either way. And we had a lot of those last year, and we came out on the upper end of them. So I think it's actually been good for our program to have a couple of losses. I know no one likes to hear that, but as an athlete, it's a wake-up call. You feel the sting, and you don't want to feel that again. So it takes a little of the pressure off as well. There's a lot of pressure on our team going into the playoffs last year because of that undefeated. We hadn't lost, and so we were tested a few times, and we've already been tested earlier. But what you're seeing in this league is there's a lot more parity, and it's getting strong.
Absolutely. In your last match, you were on court 2 with Kremer and Nightingale. When you're in control of a match like that, what do you focus on as a coach?
Well, you focus on your side of the net. Absolutely. You're going to play some great teams. You're going to play some medium teams. But the key, as you know, Holly, is you want to play consistent. You want to play consistent. So technical, we're talking about footwork. We're talking about step closing. We're talking about being aggressive, serving an area, and having a lot of intent instead of just going through the motions. You know, when you go back to serve, you got to have intent that I want to score a point rather than I'm just going back there and serving it in. And it's easy to get in that groove sometimes if you have a lead.
And when we talked to Coach Anna Collier, she said, you know, our first weekend in Zuma, we were just kind of going through the motions. We weren't controlling the level. We can play at such a high level. Is that what you do to control it?
Yeah, I mean, you really have to focus on your side of the net. And that first week in Zuma, it was right out of the chute. You're playing some of the best teams, and Pepperdine played really well on Saturday and beat us. They played great throughout the whole tournament, and Sunday was probably one of the worst wins that I'd experienced in a long time, and the girls really handled it well. But I think if we focus on our side of the net and get better every time and have a really high standard, then when it comes down to May 7th and 8th, that's when you want to be playing your best volleyball.
When Holly was just asking you about Nightingale and Kremer. Nightingale coming from the indoor game, both you and Holly champions at the indoor level before going to the beach. What do you want to see from Nightingale next? She's improved so much already.
Well, for her, the biggest thing has been confidence, really confidence, because she was the #1 team over at UCLA. You come over here and you move to the #5 spot, yet you're one of the older players on the team, but she has handled it so well. She had so much room for improvement and still does, and so it's so cool. I'm glad that I'm working with her and Joe Kramer, because they get better every match, and there's just little technical things, and you can't teach tall and athletic, and Zoe Nightingale, unbelievable.
The way Zoe Nightingale has developed is fun to watch, and she's only going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meanwhile, really quickly, we've got Clays and Hughes, always a treat to watch. What's special about them?
Their passion for the game. Sometimes it just makes me smile on the sideline watching them. They're having so much fun playing, and that's scary for the competition when someone's having that much fun out on the court and they're playing at such a high level. I mean, I would say right now they're a top 3 AVP team, no question about it.
Dane, it's always fun for us to have you here. Enjoy your time in Arizona, being on the other side of this calling matches on Friday.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, when we come back, we'll get to see that special team, the reigning Pac-12 pair of the week, Sarah Hughes and Kelly Clays.
When returning home from deployment,
Beautiful day in LA. The USC Trojans leading this duel against Cal 2-0 as the 4 and 5 pairs swept their matches. And so with those sweeps, puts USC in another great position. Coming up next, the 1, 2, and 3 pairs.
Definitely 4 and 5 for USC. Dominated, took care of business, really contain the high level on their side of the net, and that's what's important. This is going to be interesting. 3, Cole Marino, the top team for Cal, Barclamet and Rodberg Campbell at 3s, trying to really challenge. They've had some success at 3s, so it's going to be interesting the last 3 matches.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Meanwhile, Clays and Hughes, the reigning Pac-12 pair of the week, absolutely dominated in their match in the earlier duel against Long Beach.
Well, they are maintaining the level, controlling the match. They don't care who's on the other side. They don't play down, and it shows. And Dane Bland talked about it. They are so passionate about the game, and you can tell every play counts.
Yeah, USC has won their last 5 duels, but meanwhile, Clays and Hughes have won their last 40 matches dating back to last year.
Tough to beat for sure. Cal's got their work cut out for them.
As we take a look, there's 3 courts of action happening all at once. The 1, 2s, and 3s on the corresponding courts. We're going to start our coverage on court number 1 with Mia Marino and Sarah Cole of Cal taking on that already kind of legendary pair, honestly, Sarah Hughes and Kelly Clays.
Mia Marino, just a freshman on the Cal team. Sarah Cole, 5th year pre-med student, her 3rd year playing on the beach. She will be the full-time blocker for Cal.
Yeah, and Cole was a defender on the indoor team. Again, maybe seeing the game a little bit better, perhaps. And at Clays and Hughes, we mentioned having just an incredible run, but they are, according to Anna Collier, even better this year than last. They are the reigning pairs champions nationally. We talked about the NCAA championship this year. It's going to be a team championship only, no pairs championship.
Yeah, I find that a little unfortunate, but hopefully in the future they'll pick that back up.
Action getting underway on court number 1. Marino serves. And Hughes goes down the line.
Well executed by USC. Mia Marino's got lots of beach volleyball experience. She sometimes leads this team just with her beach savvy, knowing the game so well. She can really control her team. Good swing by Sarah Cole. Started with a great set from Mia Marino. Sarah Cole not afraid to swing deep cross court.
Just over the net, Hughes down and gets up quickly. Places.
For Mia Marino, she's got her work cut out for her trying to dig this Clays Hughes team, but you're going to have to play some cat and mouse with them to score some points defensively.
And so what does that mean exactly, Holly? Like, what does she need to do to defend them?
Well, bait them one way, I think you have to, because their shots are extreme, so you want to bait them into hitting a shot. You want them to think you're going somewhere and you're not. Be creative with your defense.
Marino's serve catches the tape. We've talked all day about how you have to serve difficult against this USC team.
Number 2 on court number 2. We're going to go it after the early lead now on court 1. Sarah Hughes back to serve.
Sarah Hughes and Kelly Clays amongst the first to declare that they were going to be, at that time, sand only. They're Fab 50 indoor players in high school who made that decision. What did that do for the game and the growth of beach volleyball to have two players with that level declare sand only so early?
Well, I think it's kind of a statement for the future. I think a lot more athletes are starting to do that. I'm starting to see at the high school level, sophomores saying, you know what, I'm not that wild about indoor, but I love beach. Or maybe they don't think they have the same opportunity indoor, so they're trying to pursue their opportunities on the beach. It's really interesting, but it's more opportunities for more female volleyball players, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, Anna Collier has talked about how over 5 years the recruiting process has changed so much because the skill level of the players has improved so much earlier. You train a lot of high school players, so a lot of that credit goes to you. As Clays turns down the line.
Good transition by USC. Well, I just have the opportunity. I get to train and help them learn the game at a young age, and I enjoy it. They're putting in the hard work and they're doing the learning, so the credit is theirs.
Marino, Cuddy, dug by Hughes. Hughes just dumps it.
Easy opportunity. Sarah Hughes gets her feet there so quick to dig the ball. Kelly Clay's bumping it over to the deep corner.
I was so excited about Hughes, I gave her credit for both the dig and the dump. Anna Collier, the 2014 AVCA National Coach of the Year and the 2015 Coach of the National Champions in both the pairs and the team competition. First team title for this USC program.
It was interesting. Her team won the title, went undefeated, but she was not the Coach of the Year last year.
Yeah, it's tough. It'll be interesting. I mean, it's kind of going to be interesting to see the growth of this sport over the years. It's like Al skates, you talk about 19 NCAA champions, but then there were also those other ones before it was an NCAA sport. That's the groundwork that's been laid these last few years.
There you see Kelly Clays again showing that she can hit with her left hand as well. Makes her double as dangerous.
That's just crazy, by the way, that somebody can hit that hard with their left or their right. How do you defend against that? I don't know what's coming. Hughes, just down the middle.
That ball was way off the net. Good decision for Cal to get off the net, but Sarah Hughes just hits a roll shot. Look, she's about 5 feet off the net, middle of the court. Good roll shot. That spin just makes that ball drop between the defenders.
Number 4, Bryce Clark.
Looking for the line. It's just perfectly placed by Sarah Cole.
Good look inside out from Cal's Sarah Cole and Mia Marino. Good set. Nice high line shot. Let's see if Mia Marino can create some defense. Sarah Cole's serving.
Hughes just sends a cutty back.
You want this USC team to have a tweak in their side out, a little tweak in the pass, a little tweak in the set. Not a perfect pass like that or a perfect set, because that's trouble.
USC leads this duel 2-0. It's a best of 5. Much like the Long Beach State match earlier today, the Long Beach State duel earlier. Nice chop for Marino. Hughes puts plenty of heat, but a little long.
Sarah Hughes got way up on that ball, but didn't snap on top. That ball goes long. Cal point.
Sarah Hughes and Kelly Clays have only dropped one set all year long, both All-Americans. In fact, the top 4 players for USC are All-Americans. Alexa Strange and Sophie Bukovic, also All-Americans.
I think Zoe Nightingale has a good chance to be an All-American as well. The way she played that last match, very impressive.
Allie Wheeler with the block.
Trojans winning 6 consecutive duels, coming off a trip to Hawaii, in which they won the Hawaii Invitational, ended up being an all USC final.
Cal trying to create some points from the service line, making too many service errors so far.
Well, and how do you find that balance? I mean, on one hand, it's the service errors. The other hand, you got to serve them tough.
No, it's a fine line. And if you want to beat a team like USC, you got to walk that line. Get them in trouble. Short serve, deep. You know, if your jump serve's not working, create it another way.
Snapped down by Hughes, but not until Cole and Marino gave it everything, getting it up. Megan Schmidt, the head coach of this Cal program, says that she's very grateful to Rich Feller, the director of volleyball for Cal, indoor coach, a legend in the game.
Absolutely, and Coach Rich Feller just sent me a note letting me know that Carly Lloyd was the other player with Megan Schmidt who played in 2 Final Fours for Cal and really helped put their indoor team on the map.
Longest rally we've seen. Clays again sees the block, just goes high line over it.
Cal making some good defensive moves, touching the ball in that rally, but the execution from USC, too good. Megan Schmidt really excited about the progress, just the level of play, the increase that she's seen this year, adding the beach-only athletes, and they have more good players coming in the future. And when her athletes get to compete against the best like they are right now, it's just going to make them better. Look at that dig from Mia Marino.
Wow, that was a huge dig as Clays put everything into it.
Kelly Clays, boom, Mia Marino digs it. Mia Marino unable to transition it.
Hughes goes at Marino. Cole puts the ball up, and Clays clamps it down.
Mia Marino, really aggressive player. She just had nowhere to swing on that thing. Kelly Clays way over the net. Look at Kelly Clays' hands on the right side. That is the sign of a great blocker, and it's really hard to teach your players to do that.
I've heard you talk to people say using the euphemism grab ball.
Exactly, because you want them to go up and put their hands on the ball so the ball cannot get by you. Kelly Clays is doing that extremely well, much better than last year.
One of the improvements in the game, Anna Collier telling us she has more confidence in her offense as well, saying she's doing real beat shots. Hughes has been doing that all along. Already a 2-time national pairs champion is Hughes. Nice snap. Nobody on the net for Marino. Oh my. Unloads.
Mia Marino digging some good balls, but Sarah Cole, as the transition setter, needs to get her hips around and face that set.
Clays and Hughes are controlling the match.
Home of the USC Trojans. You're watching Pac-12 Los Angeles.
At Merle Norman Stadium, USC with a 2-0 lead in the second duel of the day. This one against the Cal Bears. 3 courts of action happening all at once. And Kelly Clays on court number 1 is closing the net as USC is nearing completion of the second set. Action on court 2 and 3 ongoing. USC in control of both of those matches so far as well. Clays enjoying the net today. Well placed.
That time Sarah Cole able to sneak it by Kelly Clays in the sharp angle. But Kelly Clays reaching way over that net, really affecting Marino's offense.
We've talked about the improvement of Kelly Clays. Meanwhile, Sarah Hughes has just been a talent from the beginning. Holly, when do you first remember hearing about and becoming aware of her?
Well, she grew up on the beaches of Huntington. I can't remember the man's name. He passed away recently. He trained a very talented young group of beach players, including the libero for Nebraska, Justine Wong-Arantes, and that was Sarah Hughes' former beach partner. So I started hearing about her in high school, that she was something special. And, you know, love the way she plays, her passion for the game, her speed, her love to play defense, and the way she elevates. It's just, she's a winner, and every time she competes, you can tell.
Sarah Hughes came in as it is match point, and immediately was on the one pairs team for USC. Ended up with Kirby Burnham winning a national pairs title.
Kelly Clay's bombing her serve cross court, but misses that pretty wide.
Meanwhile, for Cal, you've talked about how Megan Schmidt is pleased that her team is getting the opportunity to play against the best and getting better for the players, too. It's a lot of fun to play the best.
Well, I think prior to this year, Cal stayed in Northern California and competed against the local schools. Now they're getting more travel under their belt and playing against the best, and that's only going to prepare them to improve.
And we'll jump over to court 2 now that the action on court 1 has ended with a set win, and in court 2, Bukovic and Strange looking to close out their set 1 against Bryce Bark and Corey Lammett.
And 4 points away from ending set number 1.
Bukovic at the net, trying to close it down. Strange behind. Hands pulled out by Bukovic, and Strange rewards her with a kill.
Set point. Sophie Bukovic, her serve has really improved this year. She just line drive, gets the Cal team in a little bit of trouble, and then her block is much more effective.
Set point. Ball is sent long as Cal stays alive.
And now the winner scored 2 points away from taking set 1 on court number 3.
Bryce Bark will serve and run to the net to block for Cal.
Strange pulls out her hands. As beautiful hands, Strange does the kill, and a set 1 win for Strange and Bukovic.
Strange and Bukovic are so physical. They have the potential to be so good.
And so the action on courts 1 and 2 ends up in 2 USC wins. The Trojans going to get into set 2 and try to pick up another set point next.
When you're driving.
It's a great day for beach volleyball on Pac-12 Network. We've been here all day. This is the second duel of the day. USC leading Cal 2-0 in this duel. Second set action on all 3 courts. The 3 pair of Nicolette Martin and Allie Wheeler of USC just picked up a set 1 win over Grace Campbell and Olivia Rodberg. And Hughes and Clays took set 1 over Marino and Cole. But we're going to rejoin the action on court number 2, the 2 pairs, as Sophie Bukovic and Alexis Strange are in set 2 with Bryce Bark and Corey Lammett.
Well, there's a point on court number 1. Close number 2, early on set number 2.
Bukovic down the line. No blocker. Oh, sorry, blocker is coming up. Strange left hand.
Beautiful execution defensively by USC. Corey Lammett, the right side player for Cal, played soccer for 4 years at Cal and then joined the team. So she is new to the game of beach volleyball. She played indoor club volleyball in high school, but what an athlete. Super quick, runs around, digs a lot of balls, a little bit unconventional in terms of a volleyball player. But she faces a big challenge trying to side out against the big block of Sophie Bukovic.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, she hasn't played volleyball in 5 years, basically, after the 4 years of college. And she's one of the captains of this team. She provides some of the senior leadership and a 5th-year senior that this Cal team wants and needs. Again, we talked about Nightingale maximizing her experience. Lammett is as well.
And this fight goes long. Point forward for the Bears, and that's with sides.
That time, Cal able to stay in the rally and win that point. 5-2 side change. Cal going to what was the good side.
Meanwhile, for Bryce Bark, her partner, the sophomore from Palos Verdes, it's different for her. She didn't see a serve at all last year when she was with Schultz, and so it'll be interesting to see who they're serving, as will Bark receive more balls for Cal, or will they go to the less experienced Lammett? Vukovic fails to get it over.
Good point for Cal. Bryce Bark at the net.
Sarah Hughes rolls it over for the Illinois point.
Pulling off the net.
Alexis
Strange. Perfect pike.
gets it down.
No block. I think if you're playing against Alexis Strange, you stay up there because I don't think she sees the block that well. But if she's got open net, she will put that ball down.
First switch is set to on court 3 at the Illinois point.
Strange, a former indoor player for Nebraska. Picks that up. Vukovic hand sets over. And there's the opportunity, and it's taken by Bryce Burke to get a kill.
Bryce Bark with a little rolling cut shot, drops in front of the defender. Good deep dig, and then kind of a falling away ball. It looks like that ball blew on her, but able to get that ball to drop.
Bark and Lamette, kind of a two bigs team. They're both, according to Coach Megan Smith, same build. They present some different problems. Who do you serve? Vukovic and Strange dropped their match against Long Beach State earlier today. Holly, they had some struggles. What were the challenges in that earlier match?
Well, the Long Beach State team played very well. They were executing and siding out at a high level, and then the unforced errors for USC just piled up.
Tough serve there, and Vukovic and Strange roll on. It's a 9-4 lead in set number 2.
That's an area where Sophie Vukovic has really elevated her game. Her serve is awesome. Just a line drive, lots of heat. Gets the other team in trouble.
Vukovic, originally from Canada, played for Long Beach State before transferring over to USC.
Just one season of indoor and then transferred to play beach here. See Coach Dane Blanton giving his team something to focus on. He wants them to control the level, play at a high level, and stay focused every play.
This USC team, the third-ranked team in the nation, going to have a break coming up soon from action, but they are playing after just a big week in Hawaii. Lots of action and lots of travel. It's where they spent their spring break winning the Hawaii Invitational. Strange just snaps down.
Alexis Strange not afraid to swing. I feel like Bryce Bark needs to get on the ball. She's lined up a little outside that ball.
Vukovic backs up and digs it well. Takes a solid swing. Lamette going up to the net. As you see Vukovic waiting for her.
Well, anytime you're setting from off the net, you don't want to set too tight. But as a hitter, you're blind. It's hard for you to see where it's going. And Sophie Vukovic just presses her hands over and scores.
Megan Schmidt talked with you and I about that too, and how part of the game too her team hasn't completely mastered yet is the calls and calling. It'd be nice to know you got a big old blocker waiting for you right there, or give her a good call.
Yes, especially in a transition, knowing what's open. And that comes with experience. And Cal Beach Volleyball is new. They're learning. This is their third year competing, but this is the first year they're traveling down here to LA and really pushing themselves by competing against some of the best teams.
Cal, a young team, plenty of room to improve. We mentioned Lamette, a fifth-year senior for this team. First year, though, playing beach volleyball. One of the captains for this team. We'll see Cal volleyball again on Pac-12's air as you and I travel up to Stanford for the Cal-Stanford match April 5th.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Stanford has a beautiful beach volleyball facility, and we have yet to see their teams compete.
Well, that's just some of the action on Pac-12 networks. Then there's going to be the Pac-12 Beach Volleyball Championship. First year that this conference has had that, sponsored by the Pac-12 Conference. USC is going to host. It's April 29th. They're going to do the Pairs Championship, and then May 1st, the Team Championship. That will be a full weekend of fun action leading up to the national championship in Gulf Shores, Alabama, for which USC hopes to be a part of. Really exciting to watch all the teams that have joined into beach volleyball within this conference, and more coming. Utah has announced that they're going to field a beach volleyball team next season.
And I think the more years you have your program, the more established you are, just because you learn the depth you need, the level of competition you need just in practice to get to the level you need to be at to challenge for a national title.
The pair of Lamet and Bark trailing 6-13 against the two pair, Bukovic and Strange. We talked about Gulf Shores. Strange uses her hands quite a bit to set. Anna Collier said that she got called a bunch in Hawaii on her hands. She said, please keep using them because she wants her to find that confidence.
Yeah, both Strange and Bukovic use their hands a lot, and the more you do it, the more confident you are. If you're going to put up that pretty set, look at that set from Bukovic. Beautiful delivery. That ball hits the top of the tape and bounces wide. Alexis Strange, unforced hitting error.
A 13-8 lead in set number 2 for Bukovic and Strange.
Lots to see.
And request it. Catch all the action on Pac-12 Network.
Action on Merle Norman Stadium on the campus of USC. This is the second duel of the day. USC leading this duel 2-0, and we have returned to court 1, pair 1 action as Clays and Hughes looking to pick up this set and the point to seal the duel for the Trojans. But it's not going to come easily as Sarah Cole turns around and then Clays finds the back line.
The speed and quickness and then the ball control on top of it of Clays and Hughes, tough to stop. Sarah Cole took a good swing, but Sarah Hughes controls it, and then easy on two from Kelly Clays.
Match point, and for the duel, Kelly Clays serving. Sends it long.
Side change, an opportunity to side out to win this match.
And a win of this match would be a win of the duel for USC. USC have won 6 consecutive duels as they are the 3rd-ranked team in the nation. Cole serves Clays. Hughes pulls out the hand, and what a block from Sarah Cole.
Love that play by Sarah Cole, jumping into the angle. She read it as a blocker, and that's one of the things Coach Megan Schmidt said. Sarah Cole has really good blocking instincts. You see them right there.
Well, in the indoor team, she was kind of the second defender behind Maddie Kerr, and then they needed her to block last year. She came in and blocked for them. Now she's delivered an ace. Natural defender is Sarah Cole.
I thought she was like the utility player. Cal kind of did it all wherever they needed her. And now doing a good job at the net, and then from the service line getting a couple points on the board for Cal.
Yeah, and you mentioned her pre-med major. She wanted to focus on one instead of going back-to-back seasons, so did not play indoor this past year. Hughes rips it, but it is dug by Marino. Cal putting up a nice fight, but Clays down the line. USC with the match and the duel.
Beautiful high elevated play by Clays and Hughes, and Marino and Cole just struggled to kind of get it going to fight back.
And so we'll rejoin the action on court 2, second set action as Strange goes at it. USC with a slim lead, 5-point lead in set number 2.
Corey Lamet, I talked about her being a soccer player, Cal. She was the captain of the soccer team. Now she's the captain of the beach volleyball team. How many athletes have captained 2 sports in college?
When you're a leader, you're a leader,
sports,
right?
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. And for Lamet, she's working with Bryce Bark, a sophomore, in her second season with this Cal beach volleyball team.
And you know, beach volleyball, I feel like it takes 3-4 years so you're really confident in terms of knowing the game, what to do in different situations. I can't imagine being expected to compete at a high level year one, learning the sports, and then facing these teams like USC, big, physical, know how to play beach. They've been competing at it for a long time. That's a big challenge.
Yeah, it's really incredible, but yet the arc of growth is so steep in terms of how quickly these players are learning. It's been an exciting time for this sport. No blocker on, and so the little shot, why not, from Bark.
Bryce Bark has some experience. She played club beach volleyball in high school. You see the nice little finesse shot that drops in front of the defense. Trying to serve aggressive, just missing that one long middle.
Vukovic and Strange trying to pick up their first match win of the day. They dropped their match against Long Beach State earlier today. May have just gotten the gift from Lamet in passing that ball. Could have been out. Strange goes to the line, and it is now match point USC.
USC has rebounded from that earlier loss today. Definitely executing better, Sophie Vukovic and Alexa Strange.
Lamet goes the other way. Vukovic sets Strange, and that'll do it. Strange and Vukovic pick up the match, and another point for USC.
Good focus by USC's two-team. Dane Blanton did his job on the sideline, keeping them focused.
USC leads this duel, has won this duel 4-0. But we're going to go to the action on court number 3. Nicolette Martin and Allie Wheeler, 1-1. They are leading in set 2. But that ball gets caught on the shoulder of Wheeler. Campbell and Rodberg, their Cal opponent.
Campbell and Rodberg, both from Manhattan Beach, California. Both freshmen have been producing really well for this Cal team, getting lots of wins at that 3 spot.
Cuddy works just fine for Nicolette Martin.
Cal needs to put more service pressure on Nicolette Martin and Allie Wheeler.
According to Anna Collier, Martin the more fiery of the two players. Wheeler the more calm and steady. The block from Wheeler. Martin sets her. Perfect.
USC playing their style of volleyball, digging the ball, putting it away. Nicolette Martin and Allie Wheeler have really nice chemistry, especially defensively. They move well together.
And this is match point for the final match of the day.
Great deep middle by Olivia Rodberg. Some good beach volleyball experience growing up playing in high school for Elite Beach Volleyball Club with Grace Campbell, as well as Mia Marino and Bryce Bark for Cal. What a shot. Right on the line for Nicolette Martin.
And big smiles for USC as they sweep the duel over Cal. USC has won 7 consecutive duels.
USC looks good, especially after their Hawaii trip. I feel like their chemistry on all levels much better, moving better together as teams. The twinship is improving, and I think Coach Anna Collier is happy.
For Cal, some valuable experience as they start their Southern California trip. They will also play Long Beach State later this week.
Cal playing Long Beach State and USC, 2 ranked teams on this trip. That's good. That's going to make them better, prepare them for the offseason. They've seen what this level tastes like and what they need to battle them better.
For USC, Holly, what do you think of the parity amongst the pairs? I mean, you've got Zoe Nightingale and Kremer, Zojo, as they call them, the 5th pair. How great are they compared to the other 5s around the country?
I think they're one of the best 5s we've seen. We haven't seen Pepperdine, but they are playing great.
And a win for USC over Cal on a windy day at Merle Norman Stadium. Plenty of action all day long. USC picks up a couple of dual wins. For our producer, Billy Chusett, our director, Gary Milkis, my partner, Holly McPeak, I'm Anne-Marie Anderson, saying thank you to our wonderful Pac-12 crew and to all of you for watching beach volleyball on Pac-12 Network.
We now join this program already in progress.